The starship Odyssey glided silently through the endless black of space. Its hull gleamed silver under the distant light of Zarathus's sun. Inside, the hum of engines mixed with the soft tapping of controls, a comforting rhythm to the human crew. Captain Adrian Cole leaned over the navigation panel, eyes scanning the projected map of the alien planet below. He had seen many worlds in his life, but Zarathus was different. "Sensors confirm stable landing zones," Lieutenant Mira said, her voice crisp and professional. "Atmosphere is breathable, no toxic gases detected, gravity slightly stronger than Earth's, but nothing our suits can't handle." Adrian nodded. "Good. Prepare the landing teams. Remember, this species, Lyrans, they are highly intelligent. We're here to observe, learn, and help, not to interfere." The crew nodded in unison. Everyone on the Odyssey knew the importance of first contact. Humanity had spread across nearby star systems, and peaceful relationships with alien species were the foundation of their exploration philosophy. But there was always a little thrill in meeting a truly alien mind, a species that thought differently than humans. Outside, Zarathus was a breathtaking sight. Floating cities hovered above the surface, shimmering like mirrors in the golden light of the sun. Lush forests stretched endlessly, and crystal rivers sparkled with colors no human eye had names for. Birds, or creatures that resembled birds, soared through the sky, calling in strange melodic tones. It was a planet alive in ways that felt almost magical. "Landing sequence initiated," announced the pilot, a tall woman named Janelle. The ship's thrusters flared, adjusting its descent carefully toward a flat platform just outside one of the floating cities. On the platform, figures began to appear. At first, Adrian thought they were statues, tall, delicate forms with luminous skin and long, flowing limbs. But then the figures moved. They walked gracefully, their eyes shining with curiosity and intelligence. The Lyrans. Among them was a young Lyran girl who seemed to notice the humans first. Her skin was a soft blue with faint silver patterns that shifted like liquid light. Her hair floated slightly, responding to the energy in the air, and her eyes were a deep violet, glowing faintly. She was small, almost childlike compared to the towering humans, but her gaze was sharp and intelligent. Her name, as the translation device whispered in Adrian's earpiece, was Ayla. Ayla tilted her head, observing the humans with wide-eyed curiosity. She had never seen creatures like these, upright, hairless in odd places, carrying strange objects that blinked and hummed. Her people had always believed that life elsewhere in the universe was possible, but she had never imagined meeting humans. Adrian stepped forward, extending a hand in the universal gesture of greeting. "I am Captain Adrian Cole of the Starship Odyssey. We come in peace." Ayla mimicked the gesture awkwardly, raising one delicate hand. The translation device crackled slightly before her soft, melodic voice emerged in English. "Greetings, Captain. I am Ayla. Welcome to Zarathus." "Thank you, Ayla. Your city is beautiful," Adrian said, glancing at the floating platforms, the sunlight dancing across their surfaces. Ayla's eyes widened slightly. "You mean, you see it? You see colors like that?" Adrian chuckled. "Yes. Humans see colors like you see patterns in the air." The young Lyran laughed, a sound like wind chimes. "You are very strange humans, so big and heavy, and yet you fly in a metal bird." "We try our best," Adrian said with a smile. He motioned for the crew to begin unloading equipment. "We'd like to learn from you, and maybe teach you some of our ways as well." Ayla's curiosity only grew. "Teach me? Teach me?" "Yes," Adrian said. "We can show you some of our technology, how we navigate space, communicate, and solve problems." Ayla's expression lit up. "I want to see. I want to learn everything." One of the humans, a tech specialist named Dr. Rena Solis, stepped forward with a portable device. We can start with something simple, she said. This device lets you connect to the ship's data system. You can explore information, maps, and knowledge directly. Ayla tilted her head, trying to understand. Connect? Inside the ship? Well, not exactly inside you, Rena said, laughing nervously. I mean, you interface with the system through this device. It's safe. Adrian, trying to explain quickly, said jokingly, I'll be inside you, helping you connect. There was a pause. Ayla blinked. Her eyes widened, and she tilted her head in a way that made her look even smaller and more innocent. You... inside me? She asked, her voice a mixture of curiosity and confusion. The humans froze. They realized their phrasing had been misunderstood. Rena quickly adjusted her translator. No, not like that. I mean, the device connects you to the ship, and I help you control it. That's all. Ayla tilted her head even more, studying Adrian and Rena carefully. You will be inside my mind? Adrian swallowed and gave a small smile. Not your mind either. Just the device. We're helping you understand it, that's all. For a moment, Ayla seemed to think very hard. Her luminous eyes sparkled as she tried to grasp the human way of speaking. Humans speak strangely, she said finally, giggling. But I like your words. They are funny. Relieved, Adrian laughed. Glad you find us funny, that's good. Humor is important. The tension broke, and soon Ayla was jumping from one foot to the other, eager to try the device. Show me, she exclaimed. Her curiosity was infectious. Even the human crew found themselves smiling at her excitement. Dr. Rena guided her carefully. Place your hand here, she said, pointing to the device. Ayla touched it tentatively. Lights blinked. A soft hum filled the air, and suddenly, information flowed into Ayla's mind, not physically, but like a gentle stream of knowledge. Maps, star charts, simple calculations, and even historical data of human exploration appeared in patterns her mind could understand. Ayla gasped. I can see everything. The stars, your worlds, your machines. Her eyes glowed brighter, and she laughed in sheer delight. It is magical. Humans truly are clever. Adrian watched her, a sense of pride swelling in his chest. Humanity had traveled far in the galaxy, faced countless dangers, and now they were trusted by another intelligent species to share knowledge. This was what exploration was truly about. Not conquest, but connection. Ayla turned to him, eyes wide. I want to learn more. Teach me how you solve problems. Teach me how you make machines. Teach me everything. Adrian smiled warmly. We will. But first, you need to understand that learning takes time. And mistakes. Mistakes happen, even for humans. Ayla tilted her head again, a gesture Adrian would come to recognize as her thinking pose. Mistakes? You make mistakes? But you are so clever. We try our best, but we are not perfect, Adrian said. That's why we share knowledge, so we all grow together. Ayla nodded slowly. Together, I like that. Together is good. Meanwhile, the rest of the Lyran observers had been watching silently. They were cautious, but Ayla's excitement and the humans' patience slowly eased their suspicion. The elders exchanged subtle signals, a complex form of Lyran communication, and seemed to approve. Captain Adrian breathed a quiet sigh of relief. The first contact had gone better than he could have hoped, even with the small misunderstanding. Humor, curiosity, and respect had bridged the gap between species in a way that careful words alone could not have achieved. As the sun of Zarathus dipped lower, casting long shadows over the floating city, Ayla turned to the humans once more. Tomorrow I want to see your ship. I want to explore. I want to understand humans better. Adrian nodded. Tomorrow, we will show you everything we can. And maybe you can show us something about your world too. Ayla's eyes sparkled with excitement. Yes, I will show you. And then you will be inside me? Adrian chuckled again. We'll figure out a better way to explain it. And for the first time on Zarathus, humans and Lyrans laughed together, the sound of curiosity and wonder echoing across the floating platforms, a promise of adventures yet to come. The stars above twinkled, silent witnesses to the beginning of a friendship that might one day span galaxies. The morning sun of Zarathus rose slowly, painting the floating city in golden hues. Mist drifted between the platforms, curling around the delicate towers like silver ribbons. Birds, or creatures that resembled birds, sang melodious calls, filling the air with music. Ayla was already awake, perched on the edge of one of the platforms, her violet eyes scanning the horizon with excitement. Today, she would see the humans' ship, the Odyssey, and learn more about these strange, fascinating beings. Her small, luminous fingers twitched as she waited for the humans to arrive. When the landing shuttle touched down softly, Ayla ran forward, her excitement impossible to contain. "Good morning," she called, her voice bright and musical. "Morning, Ayla," Captain Adrian replied with a smile. "Ready for your first tour?" "I am always ready," she said, giggling. "Always ready to learn from humans." Dr. Rena Solis stepped down from the shuttle carrying a small device. "And we are ready to teach," she said. "But remember, it is important to pay attention. Human technology can be complicated at first." Ayla tilted her head. "Complicated? Like your words?" she asked with a laugh. Adrian chuckled. "A little bit, yes. But that is why we explain carefully." The humans led Ayla to the ship. The Odyssey was enormous compared to her small frame. Its hull gleamed like silver glass, reflecting the colors of the sky and clouds. The doors opened with a soft hiss, revealing a long corridor lined with blinking panels and softly glowing lights. Ayla stepped inside cautiously. "It is beautiful. It shines like the river crystals on Zarathus," she whispered. "Thank you," Adrian said. "We put a lot of work into it." Dr. Solis handed Ayla the device again. "Today, you will learn how humans connect with technology. Not just to see information, but to control machines, solve problems, and explore the universe." Ayla's eyes sparkled. "Show me everything." The first lesson was simple. Rena guided Ayla's hands over the controls, explaining how the human neural interface worked. Lights blinked, and soft sounds hummed as the device responded. Ayla's mind quickly adapted, absorbing the patterns and sequences. "I can feel it," she said in wonder. "It is like touching the stars themselves." Adrian smiled. "That is a good way to think about it. Humans created these devices to reach beyond what our bodies can do, to see and understand more of the universe." Ayla tilted her head. "Humans, clever. You make machines that think with you." "Yes," Adrian said proudly. "We combine our minds with technology to solve problems faster and explore further." After the device lesson, they walked through the ship. Ayla marveled at the corridors, the rooms filled with glowing panels, strange tools, and objects she had never seen. She paused at a window overlooking the planet. "Your ship floats above the ground like our platforms, but it flies. You humans, you are amazing." Adrian chuckled. "We have been exploring space for a long time. But we always need to learn more, even from young minds like yours." Ayla's ears twitched with excitement. "Then I will teach you too. I can show you how we read energy patterns, how we communicate without words." "That sounds wonderful," Rena said. "Humans can learn a lot from your species too." The humans took Ayla to the ship's control room next. Panels displayed star maps, ship status, and glowing pathways showing energy flow. "Here is where we make decisions for the ship," Adrian explained. "Every light, every line tells us something important. It helps us navigate, communicate, and keep the crew safe." Ayla leaned closer to study the controls. You understand everything at once?" "Not at first," Adrian said. "We practice, we learn, and we rely on teamwork. Humans are clever because we share knowledge, not because we are perfect." Ayla nodded thoughtfully. "Share? Together? Yes. Humans and Lyrans could share like this too." Adrian's eyes lit up. "Exactly. That is why we are here, to learn from each other and help each other grow." Next, they introduced Ayla to the ship's sensor system. She learned how humans could detect storms, track asteroids, and even sense life forms on distant planets. Ayla gasped as she saw readings of the forests and rivers of her own planet. I can see my world differently," she said. "Your technology, it makes the invisible visible. You humans, you are like magicians." Dr. Solis laughed. "We are not magicians, just humans trying to do our best." Ayla's eyes sparkled with admiration. "Your best. Very powerful. I want to do my best too." For hours, Ayla practiced with the devices. Sometimes she made mistakes, pressing the wrong buttons or interpreting a signal incorrectly. Each time, the humans guided her patiently. "It's okay to make mistakes," Adrian reminded her. "Mistakes are part of learning. Even humans make them every day." Ayla tilted her head. "Even humans. Not perfect. Clever, anyway." "Exactly," Adrian said with a smile. "Being clever is about trying, thinking, and helping others, not about being perfect." As the day went on, Ayla began to understand more about human thinking. She realized humans approached problems with a combination of logic, creativity, and empathy. They didn't just use machines, they understood the purpose behind them, and they cared about how their actions affected others. "This is very different from my world," Ayla said thoughtfully. "We see patterns and energy, but humans, you see consequences too. You plan, you protect, clever, and kind." Adrian nodded. "That is part of what makes humans human." After a short rest in the crew lounge, Ayla insisted on seeing the engine room. The humming of the ship's core vibrated through the floor, a gentle reminder of the power humans could control. Pipes, cables, and glowing energy conduits created a maze of technology that seemed overwhelming. Yet, Ayla's eyes lit up with curiosity instead of fear. "This, so much power," she whispered. You control all of this?" Rena laughed. "We do, but it requires careful attention. One mistake, and the ship could fail. That is why humans train for years, and we always work together." Ayla's gaze wandered over the controls and energy flows. "Together, yes. Teamwork. Humans clever. I want to help." And so she did. Rena guided her hands, explaining energy distribution and basic maintenance. Ayla made mistakes, pressed buttons in the wrong order, and accidentally triggered minor warnings. Each time, the humans calmly corrected her. She learned, adapted, and improved, her small face glowing with determination. By the time the day ended, Ayla could operate simple systems on the ship. She could monitor energy flow, follow star maps, and even understand basic safety protocols. She turned to the humans, eyes bright with excitement. I understand. I can help. Humans, you are very clever, but I can be clever too." Adrian smiled. "You already are, Ayla. Cleverness is not just knowledge. It's curiosity, persistence, and courage. You have all three." Ayla giggled, spinning in place. I am clever. I am clever. Humans, teach me everything." Rena shook her head, laughing. "One day at a time, Ayla. one day at a time. As evening fell, the crew sat with Ayla on the deck, looking out at the floating city bathed in the soft light of Zarathus's twin moons. The Lyrans watched curiously from a distance, but the humans and Ayla shared stories and laughter, bridging the gap between species. Ayla turned to Adrian, her expression earnest. "Humans, you are very different, and yet, I like you. I want to know your world. I want to understand humans better." Adrian placed a hand on her shoulder. "And we want to know your world too. That is why we are here, to learn, to share, and to grow together." Ayla smiled, her violet eyes shining. "Tomorrow, more learning, more exploring. I want to see all your clever machines." Adrian laughed. "Tomorrow, we will show you more. But remember, learning is a journey. You cannot see everything at once." Ayla tilted her head, thinking deeply. "Journey, yes. Humans clever, humans kind, humans teachers. I will learn together." And under the twin moons of Zarathus, humans and Ayla shared a quiet moment of understanding. Curiosity, patience, and knowledge were weaving a bond between species, an unspoken promise that the adventures had only just begun. The stars twinkled above, silent witnesses to a new friendship, one built on learning, respect, and the cleverness of humanity. The morning on Zarathus began quietly, with sunlight spilling across the floating city. Ayla was already awake, her violet eyes scanning the horizon. She had barely slept, excited for the new day of learning aboard the human's ship. But as she looked toward the distant mountains, her smile froze. Dark clouds swirled above the forest and plains below the floating platforms. They moved unnaturally fast, twisting and glowing with strange energy. Ayla's small body trembled. "Humans, something is coming," she called, her voice urgent. Captain Adrian, already observing the planet through the ship's sensors, frowned. "What is it?" he asked, moving quickly to the control room. "Energy storm," Rena said, her fingers flying over the controls. "Plasma activity from the star is hitting the planet earlier than predicted. Platforms may become unstable. If the storm reaches the city, it could damage buildings or even collapse sections of the city." Ayla's ears flattened against her head in fear. "Danger! My people! We must help them!" Adrian nodded firmly. "Yes, and we will. But we must act carefully. Humans solve problems by planning, teamwork, and using technology. We'll need all of that now." The humans began to prepare the ship for emergency operations. Crew members moved with calm efficiency, checking equipment, running simulations, and coordinating with Ayla, who watched closely. "Today," Adrian said to Ayla, "you will help us, but you must listen carefully. Everything depends on precision and attention." Ayla nodded, determination replacing fear. "I will try. Humans clever. I want to help." Rena guided Ayla to the neural interface device again. "We need you to connect with the ship's sensors. You will see the storm's energy patterns and help us predict which platforms will be affected first." Ayla's eyes widened. "Inside, like yesterday?" she asked, referring to the humorous misunderstanding. "Yes, but more carefully," Adrian said, smiling. "You will enter the data, not me. Understand the patterns and tell us what you see." Ayla touched the interface. Lights blinked, panels glowed, and information flowed into her mind. Energy currents, pressure points, platform stability, all appeared in a dazzling display of colors and motion. Her violet eyes widened as she processed it. "It is huge," she whispered. "The storm, very strong. Platform 5, first danger." Adrian studied the readings. "Good. That is exactly the information we need. Now help us guide the evacuation." Ayla's small fingers moved over the controls, her mind syncing with the ship's systems. She predicted the safest paths for each platform, suggesting timing and order for evacuation. Her precision impressed the humans. She was thinking in patterns no human could immediately see, but integrating them with human technology made the plan flawless. Humans clever, machine clever, together clever, Ayla murmured, awe in her voice. Adrian smiled. Exactly. That is what teamwork looks like. The Lyran city, unaware of the full danger, continued their day. But sensors showed that the storm's first plasma waves would strike in less than an hour. Humans and Ayla worked tirelessly, sending signals to the city's emergency systems and coordinating safe landing zones for platforms that could be moved. Ayla focused completely, her mind buzzing with information. Platform 3, unstable. Must evacuate first. Platform 7, delay. Rena nodded. Yes, that's correct. Keep monitoring, Ayla. Humans will adjust the plan as we go. Suddenly, one of the humans shouted, Warning! Energy spike detected near Platform 5. Ayla's eyes widened. Too fast! Move platforms now! Adrian tapped commands, his team working with speed and precision. The ship's energy beams stabilized the platforms, while Ayla guided movement with almost unbelievable accuracy. The Lyrans on Platform 5 looked frightened, but the humans' calm instructions reassured them. Follow the paths, Adrian instructed over the ship's communicator. Move quickly but carefully. The Lyrans obeyed, guided by the humans' technology and Ayla's calculations. One by one, the platforms moved, avoiding the worst of the plasma storm. Sparks flew, energy fields shimmered, and the storm raged above. But the humans and Ayla worked as one. Ayla's small hands never stopped moving over the interface. Now, Platform 9, safe route, left path faster. Rena's voice was calm but urgent. Good, keep going, Ayla. Minutes passed like hours, but finally the storm began to subside. The energy waves weakened and the platforms stabilized. The city was safe. The humans and Ayla let out a collective sigh of relief. Ayla stepped away from the interface, her violet eyes shining. We did it, she exclaimed. Humans, clever, together clever, saved my people. Adrian placed a hand on her shoulder. We did it together, Ayla. Your clever mind helped us guide the storm safely. Humanity is proud to share knowledge, but you, your courage and curiosity, made this possible. Ayla's ears twitched with pride. Courage, curiosity, yes. Humans, very clever. But Ayla, clever too. Rena smiled. Indeed. You learned quickly, adapted, and helped us in a real emergency. That is a kind of cleverness humans respect very much. The Lyrans began to gather on the stabilized platforms. They had witnessed the humans' calm precision and Ayla's skillful guidance. Murmurs of admiration passed through their ranks. Even the elders approached, nodding their approval at the young girl who had bridged the gap between species. One elder, tall and graceful with silver patterns flowing along their skin, spoke. Your species, humans, clever, and this young one shows great promise. Together, you have saved our city. We are grateful. Ayla beamed. Humans saved my people. Together, clever. Adrian bowed slightly. We are honored to help, and we are honored to learn from your people as well. This is the beginning of a partnership. Ayla, not just between humans and Lyrans, but between knowledge, courage, and understanding. The storm cleared, leaving the floating city bathed in golden sunlight once more. Platforms shimmered, trees swayed gently, and rivers sparkled in the light. Ayla turned to the humans, her eyes filled with excitement. What next? She asked eagerly. More learning? More adventures? Adrian laughed. Yes, there will be more. But for now, rest. Even humans need rest after a challenge like that. Ayla tilted her head. Rest. Humans clever, but Ayla, Never stop curious. Good, Adrian said. Curiosity is one of the most important human traits. It makes us explore, learn, and grow, and it seems you already share it. That evening, the humans and Ayla sat on the edge of a floating platform, watching the sunset paint the sky in reds, oranges, and purples. The storm had left tiny sparkles of residual energy dancing in the air, like fireflies. Ayla spoke softly, almost to herself. Humans. Clever. Humans kind. Together. We can do anything. Even storms. Adrian nodded. Exactly. And that is why humans can explore the universe, not just with machines or tools, but with courage, teamwork, and the will to help others. Ayla's small hands clenched in determination. Tomorrow, more learning. Humans teach, Ayla learns, together clever. Rena smiled. Yes, tomorrow we will continue. But always remember, the best learning comes from challenges, just like today. Ayla's eyes sparkled in the fading sunlight. Challenges, yes. Humans clever, Ayla clever, together clever, always. As night fell, the stars shone brighter than ever. The humans and Ayla had faced their first real test together and triumphed. The bond between them had strengthened, not just through teaching and learning, but through action, courage, and mutual respect. The floating city glowed softly in the moonlight, a symbol of what could be achieved when intelligence, empathy, and determination worked together. And in that quiet, shining moment, both humans and Lyrans understood something important. When cleverness and courage join, no challenge is too great and no star too distant. Ayla looked at the humans one last time before settling down for sleep. Tomorrow, more learning, more adventures, together clever. Captain Adrian smiled as he watched her. He knew she was right. Humanity's journey through the stars was not just about exploration. It was about connection, partnership, and the unending quest to learn. And with friends like Ayla, they had found a companion as curious, brave, and clever as any human explorer. The morning after the storm, the floating city of Zarathis glimmered in the soft light of dawn. Platforms, stabilized by the humans' quick thinking and Ayla's guidance, shimmered like glass above the forests below. Birds and small flying creatures flitted across the sky, calling their strange songs, and the rivers reflected the golden sun in perfect clarity. Ayla was already awake, hovering near the edge of her home platform, her violet eyes bright with anticipation. Today, she said, speaking to herself in excitement, humans teach, humans share, Ayla learns more. Captain Adrian Cole and his team had made plans for the day. After the crisis yesterday, the humans wanted to show the Lyrans more of their technology and learn more about Lyran culture as well. It was an opportunity to build trust, understanding, and friendship. When Adrian stepped onto the platform, Ayla ran to greet him. Good morning, humans. Ready for more cleverness? She asked, laughing. Always, Adrian said with a smile. And today, we want to learn from you too. We want to see how Lyrans think, how you solve problems, and how your technology works. Ayla's ears twitched with excitement. Yes, humans learn too, together clever. The humans followed Ayla to the central hub of the city, a grand platform suspended high above the forest. Its surface shimmered with energy patterns that shifted like water. The Lyrans had developed a form of technology very different from humans. Instead of machines and metal, they used energy flows, telepathic circuits, and natural harmonics. To the humans, it looked like magic. But Adrian reminded his team that every technology was based on logic, even if it seemed unusual. Ayla introduced the humans to a group of Lyran engineers. These clever ones work with patterns, energy flows, like humans work with machines, she explained. The Lyran elders nodded, their glowing eyes curious but cautious. One of them, an elder named Vela, addressed the humans. "Yesterday, your actions saved many lives. We respect your intelligence and courage. Today, we will share knowledge. But remember, our ways are different from yours." Adrian bowed slightly. "We respect that. We wish to learn, just as we hope to share what we know." Rena Solis stepped forward. "We have seen your energy systems. We are curious how you manipulate flows without devices like ours. Can you show us?" Vela's eyes glimmered. "Yes. Observe." The Lyrans began to demonstrate. With subtle gestures and focused thoughts, energy flowed across the platform, forming glowing bridges between towers, stabilizing floating gardens, and powering transportation pads. The humans watched in amazement. The Lyran methods were elegant, precise, and entirely different from human machines, but just as effective. Ayla turned to Adrian. "Humans, clever, but Lyrans clever too. Different, but clever." Adrian smiled. "Exactly. Cleverness takes many forms. Today, we learn from you as well." The humans spent the morning exploring Lyran energy systems. They asked questions, tested minor interfaces under supervision, and even tried to mimic the gestures. Their attempts were clumsy, causing small sparks or misaligned energy flows, but the Lyrans watched patiently, correcting gently. Ayla laughed at the humans' awkwardness. "Humans, big and strong, but hands, not delicate. Your brains, clever, but practice with hands, needed." Adrian chuckled. "True, humans are better with tools than energy patterns, but we can learn." By midday, the humans had shared more of their own technology. They demonstrated the ship's navigation systems, showing how humans chart stars and predict planetary movements. Ayla's eyes widened as she watched holographic maps of the galaxy. Your world, so vast. Humans, see everywhere, know everything," she exclaimed. "Not everything," Adrian said, "but humans are curious. We explore, we observe, we learn. And then we share what we find with others." Ayla tilted her head thoughtfully. "Curiosity? Yes. Humans. Clever and curious. I want to be curious too." Rena handed Ayla a small holographic device that displayed rotating star systems. "You can practice navigation. Try to predict the orbit of each planet and moon. See if you can match it with the data from our sensors." Ayla's violet eyes glowed brighter as she reached for the device. "Yes, Ayla. Clever. I can do this." For the next few hours, Ayla worked alongside the humans. She quickly learned to understand the rotation, orbit, and patterns of the star systems. At first, her predictions were slightly off, but with gentle guidance, she improved rapidly. The humans were impressed by how fast she adapted to their logic, while still thinking in Lyran patterns. "Humans, your way, very precise," Ayla said, "but together. Ayla clever too. Together, stronger." Adrian smiled. "That is exactly what we hope. Two species, sharing knowledge, helping each other. That is how we grow." After a short break, Ayla insisted on showing the humans something special. She led them to a hidden garden on one of the smaller platforms. The garden was alive with glowing plants that hummed softly and vines that shimmered in response to thought. "This, our creation," she explained. "We use energy, not machines, to make life grow." The humans moved carefully among the plants, marveling at the soft hum of energy. "Incredible," Rena whispered. "This is technology, but alive. It feels different from ours, yet just as intelligent." Ayla beamed. "Humans? Clever, but Lyrans clever too. Different ways, same goal, growth." Adrian crouched to examine one of the glowing flowers. "This is beautiful. Humans build machines, but sometimes forget beauty. You show that intelligence can be graceful too." The rest of the day continued in a rhythm of teaching and learning. Humans demonstrated simple machines and tools. Lyrans shared energy systems and telepathic techniques. Isla worked tirelessly, connecting human and Lyran methods, bridging gaps in understanding with humor and curiosity. At one point, Ayla paused and giggled. Humans? Funny. You say things, strange words. Yesterday you said, inside me. And I thought... She laughed again, remembering the earlier misunderstanding. Adrian and Rena laughed too. Yes, that was confusing, Adrian admitted. But it made us all learn. Sometimes words are tricky, but understanding can be shared anyway. Isla's laughter was musical. Yes, understanding. Better than words sometimes. Humans, clever. Isla, clever. Together, clever. As evening approached, the humans invited the Lyrans and Ayla to the observation deck of the ship. The view was breathtaking. Floating platforms glittered in the sunset, forests stretched endlessly below, and the rivers reflected the last rays of light. Adrian spoke softly. Today, we have learned a lot from each other. Humans teach Lyrans technology, and Lyrans teach humans wisdom and elegance. This is what exploration should be about. Sharing knowledge, curiosity, and respect. Isla nodded, her eyes glowing. Yes, together. Clever. Always clever. Humans. Friends. Isla. Friends, too. The Lyran elders nodded in approval. Your species. Humans. Worthy. Together, we can create a future. Better than alone. Young one, you have shown how bonds can be formed. Ayla giggled, spinning in delight. Together clever. Always clever. The humans and Lyrans shared stories, laughter, and quiet moments of reflection. Even in simple conversation, the differences between species seemed smaller, replaced by mutual respect and shared curiosity. Adrian watched Ayla, smiling. She had grown from a curious child into a skilled, brave, and intelligent guide. She was the bridge between worlds, showing that cleverness, courage, and curiosity could transcend differences, even between species separated by light years. As night fell, the floating city of Zarathus glowed under the light of the twin moons. Energy patterns shimmered softly, reflecting in the rivers and the platforms. Humans, Lyrans, and Isla sat together, marveling at the beauty of collaboration. Tomorrow, Ayla whispered, humans, teach more. Lyrans, teach more. Ayla, learn more. Together clever. Adrian nodded. Yes, tomorrow we will continue. But tonight, we rest. We celebrate our success and our friendship. Ayla smiled, her violet eyes reflecting the light of the moons. Celebrate. Yes. Humans. Clever. Ayla. Clever. Together clever. Always clever. And under the calm, starry sky, humans and Lyrans laughed, shared, and dreamed of the adventures yet to come, a future where curiosity, knowledge, and courage connected species across the stars. The dawn broke over Zarathus, painting the floating city in soft gold and silver. Even after the storm had passed and the city was safe, the air hummed with quiet energy. Platforms sparkled, forests glowed with morning light, and rivers reflected the sky like flowing mirrors. Isla was already awake, her violet eyes wide with excitement. Today was a day of celebration, learning, and new beginnings. Good morning, humans, she called as she hovered near the edge of her platform. Ready for more cleverness today? Captain Adrian Cole stepped forward, smiling. Always, Ayla, but today we are not only teaching or learning. Today we celebrate what we have achieved together. Ayla tilted her head in curiosity. Celebrate? Humans celebrate? How? Adrian chuckled. Different species celebrate in different ways. Today we will share stories, games, and knowledge, and we will plan for the future, how humans and Lyrans can help each other. Ayla's ears twitched in excitement. Yes, humans, clever, Lyrans, clever, together clever. The humans and Ayla began by showing the Lyrans a simple demonstration of human engineering. They constructed a small machine capable of transporting goods efficiently between platforms using principles of balance, energy, and gravity manipulation. Ayla's small hands assisted carefully, following instructions and adding her own ideas. The Lyrans watched, intrigued by the human combination of logic, creativity, and practicality. Humans, clever, Ayla whispered, but you teach patient, humans, kind too. Adrian nodded. Curiosity and kindness go together. That is part of what makes humans successful explorers. The Lyrans were impressed. Their own energy-based technology was elegant and effective, but human machines worked differently, complementing their methods. They realized that combining both approaches could lead to even greater achievements. After the demonstration, Ayla insisted on showing the humans a Lyran cultural practice. She led them to a circular platform where the energy fields formed flowing patterns over the surface. With gestures and soft sounds, the Lyrans guided energy into intricate designs, creating luminous images that danced in the air. This, your art? Adrian asked in awe. Ayla nodded. Yes, our energy makes patterns, shows beauty, tells stories. The humans watched, fascinated. They had seen art before, but this was different, alive, moving, and interactive. Adrian realized that beauty and function were not separate for the Lyrans. Even their technology carried artistry. Rena spoke quietly to Adrian. It's incredible. Humans are clever, but this is a different kind of clever. Elegant, alive, and meaningful. Ayla laughed, spinning in delight. Humans, clever, learn from us too. Together, stronger, always clever. Next, the humans invited the Lyrans to explore the Odyssey. Ayla led them through the corridors, showing off the ship's systems, controls, and sensors. The Lyrans marveled at the mechanical complexity, the logic behind each design, and the careful thought humans had put into every device. This, your machine, very different, Vela said, her eyes glowing softly. Not alive, but clever. Humans think carefully, prepare for anything, protect each other. Your species, remarkable. Adrian smiled. Thank you. Humans have learned much from each other, and now from you. That is why we explore, to share knowledge and grow together. Ayla guided the humans and Lyrans to a small demonstration area where the humans showed navigation simulations. Using holographic star maps, they displayed how the ship could travel between planets and systems safely. Ayla's violet eyes glowed as she studied the simulations. This, amazing, she exclaimed. Humans, see stars, predict movements, clever, clever, together clever. Rena smiled. You are learning quickly, Ayla. Soon you will be able to guide us as easily as we guide you. Ayla laughed. Yes, guide, help, learn, clever together. As the day continued, the humans and Lyrans shared more knowledge. The humans taught basic engineering and problem-solving techniques, while the Lyrans demonstrated subtle energy manipulation, telepathic communication methods, and environmental stability practices. Ayla acted as the bridge, connecting human logic with Lyran intuition. By evening, the lessons had turned into play. Humans and Lyrans created games that combined both cultures. Energy puzzles requiring human calculation, teamwork exercises testing creativity and quick thinking, and storytelling challenges blending facts with imagination. Laughter filled the platforms, echoing across the floating city. Ayla was at the center of it all, glowing with happiness. Humans, clever. Lyrans, clever. Ayla, clever. Together, always clever. Adrian watched her, feeling pride and wonder. Humanity's journey through the stars was not only about exploration, but about connection, trust, and shared understanding. And in Ayla, they had found a friend who embodied curiosity, courage, and brilliance. As night fell, the twin moons of Zarathus cast gentle light across the city. Energy patterns shimmered softly on the platforms, reflecting in the rivers below. Humans and Lyrans gathered for a quiet moment of reflection. Adrian spoke, his voice calm but filled with warmth. Today, we have seen what can be achieved when species share knowledge, curiosity, and courage. Humans are proud to stand with Lyrans as friends, learners, and partners. Together, we can face any challenge, explore any star, and protect one another. Isla's ears twitched. Yes, together clever, always clever. Humans, friends, Lyrans, friends. Isla, clever, together clever. Vela stepped forward, her eyes glowing softly. Your species, humans, worthy. Yesterday you saved lives. Today you shared knowledge and laughter. Tomorrow, who knows what we can achieve together? We are grateful for your presence, Captain, and for this young one who guides you. Ayla blushed slightly but grinned. Guide? Yes. Ayla clever too. But humans? Clever. Together clever. Adrian smiled. And that is the greatest lesson of all. Cleverness is not just knowledge. It is curiosity, courage, teamwork, and the willingness to help others. Humanity's strength is in these qualities, and now we share them with you. The night deepened, stars twinkling like scattered diamonds above the floating city. Humans and Lyrans sat together, sharing quiet conversation, laughter, and stories of exploration. Isla leaned against Adrian's side, her violet eyes reflecting the stars. Tomorrow, more adventures, she whispered. Tomorrow, Adrian said, we explore more, learn more, and continue our journey together. Ayla's ears twitched in excitement. Humans, clever, Lyrans, clever, Isla, clever, together clever, always clever, friends forever. Adrian chuckled. Yes, friends forever. And perhaps one day we will explore more planets, more stars, and meet more species, together. Rena nodded. Human curiosity will take us far, and with friends like Ayla, we can learn more than we ever imagined. Ayla looked out over the glowing platforms of her city. Stars. So many. Humans clever. Together clever. Adventures. Endless. The humans gazed at the stars as well, feeling the weight and wonder of the universe. They had faced storms, solved challenges, shared knowledge, and formed a bond with a species very different from their own. And in that bond, they saw the best of humanity: curiosity, intelligence, courage, and the ability to connect across worlds. Ayla's small hand reached out, touching a human hand. Together. Clever. Forever. Adrian clasped her hand gently. Forever. And this is only the beginning. The night on Zarathus was calm, peaceful, and full of promise. Energy fields shimmered, rivers reflected the stars, and the floating platforms swayed gently in the cool night breeze. Humans and Lyrans had learned that cleverness was more than knowledge. It was curiosity, courage, empathy, and the will to work together. As sleep began to fall over the city, Ayla whispered once more, her voice soft and full of hope. Humans, clever, Lyrans, clever, Ayla, clever, together clever, always clever, stars, endless, adventures. Begin. Captain Adrian looked up at the night sky, smiling. Humanity had proven once again that cleverness, curiosity, and courage were universal tools, not only to explore the universe, but to create friendships, save lives, and build a future where species could stand together, learning from each other across the stars. And in that shining moment, on the floating city of Zarathus, Humans and Lyrans knew that the adventure was just beginning. Together, they would face the universe, clever, brave, and united.